Oh, hi, didn't see you there. Just wishing this was a real cake because dang, it looks good. I'm Yaz, by the way, your new artsy BFF. With Valentine's Day coming up, I thought this would be a fun project to share. This do-it-yourself fake bake cake is perfect for Valentine's Day decor, party decorations, or even if you just love the look of cute cakes. And the best part? There's no baking required. Let's get started. For your cake base, you can use a piece of foam like I did, a wooden box, a cigar box, a gift box, or really anything sturdy that has the shape you want. Since I wanted a heart-shaped cake, I started by drawing a heart onto a piece of paper to make a template. That way I could get a nice shape without messing up my foam. The project can get super messy, so I cut up a garbage bag. And I'm going to put this down while I cut up the foam. I already know this foam's going to get messy. Next, I taped it onto my foam circle and carefully cut around it using a sharp knife. I took my time with this step to make sure I got smooth, even edges. If you're cutting foam, make sure to use a sharp blade and apply gentle pressure so you don't accidentally crush the foam while cutting. Set it on top of an object so I could easily lift and move it out of the way while it dried. Now let's make the frosting. I took some spackle and mixed in acrylic paint until I got the color I wanted. It takes a little bit of stirring to fully blend the paint into the spackle, so just keep mixing until it's smooth and even. You want to make sure there are no streaks of paint left so the color looks nice and consistent when you apply it. Now we're just going to frost our fake bake cake just like a real one. Using a palette knife or frosting spatula, spread the spackle evenly over the surface. This part is really satisfying. It honestly feels like frosting a real cake. I tried to spread the spackle as evenly as possible, but don't worry if it's not possible. Real cakes have texture too, so a little unevenness just makes it a little more realistic. I'm not the most proficient at using piping bags to pipe on frosting. If you're in the same boat as me and you want to try this project out, you can always just Google practice piping sheets and find some free printable ones. And then you just put a piece of parchment on top of it and you can pipe right on top of the template to kind of get in some practice. Also, a helpful tip, if you want, you can plan out your design on a piece of paper before applying it to your cake. For example, you could sketch out a heart-shaped cake and draw out the designs you want to use with the frosting. That way you'll know exactly what your cake will look like and can practice the frosting designs in advance. I just drew out a very basic little heart, just so I could kind of imagine in my mind what my cake is actually going to look like. I also watched a really handy tutorial before starting this step. It shows how to load the frosting into a piping bag, how to hold the piping bag properly, and step-by-step piping designs that you can try. I'll link that video in the description below if you want to check it out. Once the cake is dry, it's time for decorating. I mixed up some more spackle with the color I wanted for the frosting details. Now for the fun part, decorating. I started by adding my frosting designs using the piping bag. This step really brings the cake to life, and you can get as creative as you want with it. I went with scalloped edges to give it that classic cake look. Before piping the dollops, I placed the cherries on top to figure out where I wanted them to go. This helped me space everything evenly so the design looked balanced. Then I piped the dollops in those spots. Adding these little frosting dollops is part of the DIY because they give the cake that finished decorative look. The cherries, though, are totally optional. Your cake will still look amazing without them, but I thought they added a fun little touch, so I placed them right on top of the dollops. You could also switch out the cherries for fake strawberries, food-shaped beads, or even make your own tiny fruit out of clay. There are so many ways to customize your cake and make it unique. I mean, doesn't this look good enough to eat? I'm calling mine the forbidden cake, but I seriously just love how it turned out. I had so much fun making this. Let me know in the comments what design you would try, and for more fun do-it-yourself tutorials like this one, click this playlist here, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting!